welcome to Act on Yourself. My name is Mila.
Hello. And my name is Denise.
And today we are doing our first episode of Study the Scene or Study the Characters. This is like a more, more calmer version of the normal podcast because we're just gonna be watching shows and analyzing scenes or characters and just talking a little bit about that. So this is really relaxed in a more relaxed, format. And so we're not trying to be perfect here, technically or whatever. So just bear with us. Okay, just be with us and let us know if there is something that you want us to do or something that you want us to analyze.
Yeah, this kind of section of the podcast would be a little bit more us in a kind of way, like really relaxed and calm. Well, we're not relaxed and calm whatsoever, but what I mean is like
We're very
we're
anxious.
gonna we want to show you guys like the perspective or the way that we see our favorite scenes or movies or characters that we've watched, and we're really excited for the one that we're going to do today. I think you're going to understand the what we're talking about once we get to the point, but we're really excited about the one we're going to do today. So
Yeah, super excited. Yesterday we did one. Well, yesterday we recorded one. We don't know when that's gonna come out. So, but we did our first one in Spanish, and it was about Game of Thrones, and it was super cool. And we're gonna do one for Game of Thrones in English too in the future. Again, we don't know when we're gonna record that, but we decided to leave something super special for our first episode of this section, and is one very particular, very loved scene from the TV show Friends.
we are fans of Friends, but like in a really passionate way.
Hardcore.
I was talking to Mila yesterday, and she was talking about how fan she was of Game of Thrones, and that she was one of the persons that started the series when it actually started. I have to say that I watched Game of Thrones last year because I was living in a country where I couldn't get the signal to see it, to watch it. But basically, I've watched Friends, I'll say like 5 times already, the whole series. Like, it's easy for me to watch it. I was also reading the other day that people that have anxiety tends to watch the same programs and the same movies because they know the outcome of it. So I found myself watching Friends all over again, and I found myself when I'm watching something new, it's just like, what's gonna happen?
It's stressing. It's very stressful. It's very stressful. Like today, actually, I ended watching finally Supernatural.
Cool.
I used to be like a super huge fan of Supernatural, but then it changed the platforms where they were being broadcasted, and I lost track of Supernatural for a couple of years, and I decided to, I'm just gonna watch it when the show is over and stuff. And I watched it. I have been watching it the last couple of seasons for the last 2 weeks or weekends, and I was so stressed out. I was like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? And it's the end of the show. 15 years long, that show. 15 years long, and in my opinion, it had a great ending. In my opinion, but I cried so much today. Because it was a very sad ending. It was a very good ending, but it's ending, and
it happened.
You grow up with these people.
Yes, it happened to me when I watched The Vampire Diaries. Yeah, sorry, I'm a teenager. I can't stop it. I like vampire things. I loved it.
We don't judge. No, that's super
Don't
important.
judge.
I hate when people are like, "Oh, your favorite show is Teen Wolf." Oh, yeah. What's wrong with that? Who are you? the god of TV shows.
Yeah, I see. I
Yes,
see. I
I
see.
see.
That's no, but honestly, it's like it was beautiful for me to watch. I stopped watching it like you, and then when I went back to it, I remember being like crying so much with the ending. It was just like, no. But an update of like what I'm watching right now. I don't know why. Like I say, I'm really late for all the series and all the famous things, but I decided in quarantine to start watching Grey's Anatomy.
Oh,
Why? Why? Like, why
wow.
did I do that to myself? I'm probably gonna end the show when I'm like 80 or something. 17 seasons, 17. And it's just
17?
like
Oh my god. And I thought
17,
Supernatural was long AF. Like
17.
15 seasons from Supernatural.
Okay, it's 17 seasons and it's 25 or almost 30 episodes per season, and it's an hour long every episode. So basically, my kids are gonna be watching Grey's Anatomy with me because
Basically, with you. It's like The
I'm never gonna
Simpsons.
finish it. Yeah,
It's like The Simpsons. The Simpsons are like, I don't know, like 17 or 19 seasons long or more. I don't know. I really don't
crazy.
know. I don't have the facts.
And a little spoiler in here: if you haven't watched Grey's Anatomy, go away. Don't listen to these. Like, try to not listen to it. Everybody dies. It's like Game of Thrones, but in a hospital. It's just like,
At
what
least
are you doing?
at least they are already there. You know, they are already in the hospital.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. It's like, okay, no, but it's just
Oh,
like one character got cancer, the other one got hit by a bus, the other one got shot, and it's just like,
I
but
stopped
why?
watching. I stopped watching Grey's Anatomy, and I don't know if I'm spoiling this to you or not.
It doesn't matter. It's 17 seasons. I already
It is.
spoiled myself
I'm
everywhere.
sorry, spoiler alert, but I stopped watching it honestly when McDreamy died.
Oh, I haven't get that yet. I haven't
Oh
get
my
that yet.
god. I was like, what?
Well,
Are you kidding? I
when
stopped
they
watching it.
shoot Max Teamy, I was like, I'm in this series 6 at the moment, and I thought, because I knew he died, like I know he dies in the season, in the series at some point. I don't know when, but I know he dies. So I thought he was going to die in that moment when he got shot, and I was just like waiting on it, like, okay, he's going to die. He didn't die, so I have to prepare myself again for that.
Again.
Like, I have to say, like, when I am gonna watch a series or something that I haven't, like, I don't know how it ends, I have to prepare myself. It's just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I
But the
get a
good
little bit
thing
angry.
about like Game of Thrones, honestly, is that it taught me to not get too attached to the characters or to the
To
story,
anything in
basically.
life,
To
to
anything.
yourself, to your
Yeah.
expectations, to
It's
hope.
like,
Just let it
anybody
go.
can die. So today when I watched Supernatural, I was telling to my sister, hi, good evening. I was telling
Hello.
her that I was waiting for like a significant death. Like I was waiting for it because
Expecting it.
Game of Thrones prepared me for that, you know?
It doesn't matter what am I watching, but as soon as the music goes dun 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 dun, I'm like, someone's gonna die. Someone's gonna die. Something's gonna happen. Someone's gonna come and shoot someone. Like, I can't help it, and then
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
always
it
like,
panic
it doesn't.
attack. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
it's like you're there, like, oh my God, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? What's
Girl,
gonna happen? And it's very stressful to watch. Or when you're in the middle, for example, we love Denise and I, we both love Stranger Things. But the story is still developing and we still need more seasons to go.
we
So
don't know when that's gonna happen.
no, we have no idea what's gonna happen. And that can be very, very stressful. And that's why we turn our heads to shows like Friends and other shows that we
Comforting.
have seen, yeah, close to our hearts, things that are like light or that you know already how they're gonna end, and that's why
Yep.
you watch your favorite movies and your favorite series, or maybe even read your favorite book
Yeah.
one,
Over again.
over and over again.
No, and also it's like, when you having a bad time and you get like comfort food, like chocolate makes you feel better,
Yeah.
like ice cream makes you feel better. I feel like Friends is also as well like a comfort series for me. Also, The Office for me is like, I can't explain you how The Office saved my life in the worst times of my life. Every time I was like, I'm losing it, The Office, and or Friends, and it's just like it's really crazy how it affects you or helps you to watch something that you already know. Even you already watch it, you know what's gonna happen, but it makes you feel like safe in some kind of way.
Yeah, it
It's
makes you
really
feel safe, and it makes you feel like you're around, not around people that you know, but it's like it's familiar. It's
for
familiar,
me, they are my
it's
friends though.
comforting, and it's a yeah, and I consider it to be a form of therapy when
Hmm.
those days when you have nothing to do that are weird, are rare, when you have nothing to do and you just, maybe you're not going through the best time, and then you just sit down and start watching something that maybe you have already watched, but it's something that makes you happy. So
Yeah.
if it's something that makes you happy, like the song says, if it makes you happy, it can't be that bad,
No, and
basically.
also I think that if you're going through a stressful weekend, what would you want to watch? A stressful film that you know don't know what's
Yeah,
gonna happen, or you want to
sometimes you're
scream
not
at.
in the mood.
No, exactly.
Sometimes you're not in the mood to watch people die, to watch people get killed or tortured or
Suffer.
something.
That's
You know?
why we choose this scene in this episode is for us the
One of the
I mean it's
best.
one of the best. Honestly, I have to say from Friends, Ross would be my favorite character. Like the timing of the actor with all the jokes for me is just perfect. Perfect. Like I love
His
Ross.
character
I
is
love
amazing,
him.
and he's super underrated. Like Ross is underrated. It's not like, I mean, of course, my favorite character is Chandler, but everybody's favorite character is Chandler or
Yeah.
Phoebe, and we know, I understand why, but you know, characters like Ross or Monica, they are like super underrated, and I'm like, no. And people say, and I have to say this, that Friends was aired in the 90s, and
Hmm.
people say that if Friends would air right now, it will flop because it lacks diversity, because of a lot of things, and I
Hmm.
understand that. And I was watching an analysis on Ross's character particularly, saying that he was horrible, that he was toxic to Rachel and stuff, and I was like, no, he wasn't. It's like, I mean, he's not perfect. Let's be honest. Nobody is
Who is?
perfect, and that's the beauty of it. That's the comedy of it. But for example, he was like, they were saying that he was homophobic and stuff because his first wife was a lesbian
Mm.
and stuff. And I was like, he walked her down the aisle to marry her wife. Like, I mean, he's not homophobic. He just he was betrayed by his wife. That's what,
Exactly.
he was betrayed by his wife, and then he forgave her, and then he
Hmm.
he walked her down the aisle. I mean, that's super noble. And that happened in the 90s. You have to remember that a gay wedding in the 90s, never, never. That was super, super, super weird. So
I do
I'm like,
think
no,
that
I think that people have to have like not trying not to judge things by the moment they were aired, and take the good stuff and learn from the bad stuff.
no, I think people also is like I understand that now is a different, like everything is different, and that's good because people have is awake and know what they want to watch, what they want on air, and all those things. But honestly, I've read things in Twitter about like analysis of Ross as a character, and for me, it's just like
No.
really. Like
Yeah,
you
it's
just
like,
spend five
honestly.
hours of your life trying to make a point that nobody, or believe me, the fans of Friends are not going to be like, oh, yes, I'm never going to watch Friends again because of this tweet. I'm sorry, dude,
Mm.
but no.
That's not gonna happen.
I mean, we get it, but no,
I'm
I
sorry
love
that,
Ross.
yeah.
I love Ross, and I think it's also a character very deep. Like people think that all the choices that he made, also people judge like if they were perfect. I mean, I know we're talking about a character, but come on, I actually do think they were on a break. I mean, he didn't weigh too much, but they
Yeah.
were on a break. I
I
mean, he could have
think that
waited
they
a
were
day
on a
or
break.
two.
I
They
think
were on a
so too.
break.
I think that they were on a break too. I do not agree
Rachel,
with what
and
Ross did,
also,
but they were on a break.
no, and also let's talk about Rachel. She knew from the beginning. She can't tell me that she didn't knew from the beginning that Ross was in love with her. I mean,
Come
come
on.
on, friend,
Come on.
come
No, and you know
on,
what?
my love.
She did know when they knew each other back then when they were in high school. She
In high
knew that Ross
school,
had a crush on her. She knew
so
it, and she didn't even
come
listen
on,
to him. And she was like, "Oh no, I don't care because you're a nerd." So
yeah.
okay, so okay, she can say that he's a nerd, but that's fine.
So like there's this
No,
two side of it saying like what when you say this the people comes like so she has to like Ross just because he like her. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is like these two characters have a story that you have to try to like focus on to understand the choices that the both of them made at the moment that they made it. Like it's
exactly.
just as simple as understanding that people make mistake. We're talking about a series, but they're showing like real problems of real friends that go through things that people I get like I sometimes watch episodes and I think like ah, this is so my friends and I, like
Exactly. Exactly. And it's very relatable. And I think that was one of
mhm,
the greatest things about Friends. It was the yeah, how relatable the characters were. Like, everybody was like, "You're such a Ross, you are Phoebe, you are Monica,"
yeah.
and it's so much fun to see that now, you
And
know?
also the series was on air in the 90s. Probably I was a child when that was happening and I got to watch the series and I got to fall in love with
Mhm.
it. So it's it's a really good sitcom. Like
It's
I
really good.
didn't knew what sitcom was until I watched Friends. And to me, it's one of the most beautiful ways to do TV because it's kind of like theater. Like you have the people in there listening to the jokes, like listening and living the moment with you. So for me, I love it. If you don't like Friends, we're not friends. Or something like
No, just
that.
watch another episode. It's fine.
Yeah. It's fine.
It's
So
fine.
let's go to the
To
scene.
the theme, yeah.
And
Okay, I'm gonna go and you're gonna see my screen and you're gonna watch my YouTube because we are like two old ladies that do not know how to work with technology. So this
no,
is what you get. Okay.
this is what you get. That's
And
what
if
you
you don't
get
like it,
when you
I'm so
let your
sorry.
heart away. Oh,
Okay,
oh.
so here's my YouTube and let's watch this scene. You already know which one it is. So let's just hit play.
Okay, Ross, I realized that you didn't expect to walk in and see that, but let me explain, okay?
We weren't doing anything.
Rach, he just saw us. But what you saw, that is the extent of it, okay? One kiss.
No, come on, that is a lie. We also kissed in Barbados.
Dude, chill! Okay, we also kissed in Barbados, but we didn't plan it, okay? And the only reason that happened was because I saw you kissing Charlie.
Yeah, you started it. I have got to chill.
Look, we probably should have talked to you about this before it ever happened, but...
Oh, we feel so terrible about this, Ross.
Yeah, but it did happen. So... Ross?
Ross? Can we just close the door? Ross, say something. Anything.
So you two are,
Yeah.
and have you had?
No.
No.
But if I hadn't walked in here, would you?
Probably... No.
Ross, this is not how we wanted you to find out about this. You have every right to go nuts.
I'm not going nuts. Do you see me going nuts?
No, but you know what I mean.
Hey. If you two are happy, then I'm happy for you. I'm fine.
Really?
Absolutely. I'm fine. Totally fine. I don't know why it's coming out all loud and squeaky, because really, I'm fine. I'm not saying I wasn't a little surprised to see you guys kissing. I mean, at first I was like, ah! But now that I've had time to absorb it, loving this,
Ross.
it's all working out. Me and Charlie and you two. You know what we should do?
Calm ourselves?
No. We should all have dinner. Yes, we'll do it tomorrow night. I'll cook.
Look, don't you think that'll be a little weird?
Weird? What? What's weird? The only thing weird would be if someone didn't like Mexican food because I'm making fajitas.
No, I can't explain how much I love this scene. Like I say, the timing, all the journey that this man have, like it's just like amazing.
Amazing. It's amazing because I think one of the most amazing parts about it, I was thinking about it, is the overcompensation. It's like doing everything that you can, everything in your power to make your friends to make them not feel bad, you know?
Yeah.
And he's trying so hard. He's trying
And
so hard
you
not
know,
to hurt them.
I think everybody has been in that position. Like I don't know if you've
Yeah.
ever been like watched something or seen something that literally breaks you inside, and then you're like, no, it's fine. Like it's like just like him, it's just like
Yeah, and you're like,
fine.
"Fine."
And then like what you really want to say is like you say at the start, at the beginning it was a bit like but like what I mean is l- since he opens the door till he leaves, it's just a beauty. It's funny, it's hilarious,
Such a
like
funny, yeah, such a
but
funny
it's
situation
also
and so relatable.
yeah, exactly, it's really relatable. Like I could see myself in there. I've been there so many times, not anymore, but I used to be in there all the time.
Yeah,
Like you see something that you didn't want to see, and also like what I like the most is how believable it is. Like
yeah,
I see him and I think he just got his heart broken and he's
yeah,
just trying to act like he's not, and it's
yeah.
just I love it, I love
And
it.
it's genius because it's done in a very comedic way, but
Mhm.
people tend to get like that, like overcompensating, like, and he was like, we should go on a date and I will cook and I will make fajitas, and
I
it's
love
like,
when he say, "What would be rare is that someone don't like Mexican because I'm making fajitas."
and then he just stormed out of the room.
Just like- no,
Cannot
for
hold
me,
it
like
anymore.
no, and
Yeah,
you also can see what I like of comedy is we're presenting you something that happens that is probably really bad, but we're making you laugh until you actually realize that this could be like really sad
it
situation.
happened to you and it's sad. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. That's what I love. Well, I have studied about this a lot because we both love comedy a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and we have studied things with theater, and we have studied tragedy, and we have studied comedy, and all of that, and the origins of it, and there's such a debate about what's funny and what's not funny, about what's comedy, what's not comedy, and we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to get into that because that's very deep.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing with comedy, and it's not only a formula, because it is a formula, every time you do something and it works, you should do it 3 times and stuff, things like that.
Mhm.
But the thing is that they're showing you something that is relatable with a surprise.
Mhm.
And the surprise is where you find the comedy. It's like you're not expecting that, and that's why you laugh. And so the situation is very relatable. The feelings of the character are very relatable, but the reaction of the character is the surprise. It's you're not expecting Ross, because Ross has been, like we were talking about, he had some anger issues in the past that they put in a funny way. So we were expecting, like Rachel and Joey, they were expecting, Ross to be crazy, mad, screaming,
Yeah,
and he was not.
even when if you saw when he get close to them, they go like he's gonna punch me or something like that, and it's hilarious because actually you would expect that someone, well, obviously for who Ross is, but you wouldn't expect someone to just, if you know that you did something that hurt them, you wouldn't expect that they act like if nothing happens. You actually expect that they
Yeah.
have a reaction against you. But I think he was the king of masking like his feelings. Like he's just like, you know what, I can't do this to myself, I'm too hurt, I can't. And the scene of the dinner is 10 times better. It's just
Yeah.
like
Yeah, and that scene wouldn't work if they didn't have the one that we just talked.
exactly. Hmm. Hmm.
It's a whole thing. It's a whole a comedic line,
Yeah.
and in that dinner, he goes crazy. He goes absolutely crazy, and it's so hilarious. It's so funny when he just lost it, because Rachel is the love of his life, basically. They don't have the best relationship. They are, on and off. And Joey is such a sweet character. That's another character that I feel that is underrated, is Joey. Joey
Yeah.
is so sweet. He might not be the smartest person,
No.
but he's so sweet. And he always cares about his friends. He always sacrificed himself for his friends. And he's I think he's the most noble character from Friends.
Mhm.
And to see that he is really concerned for his friend, that's another thing that it's funny, but it's also like heartbreaking about this scene, is how much Rachel and Joey care for Ross. Like they really don't want to hurt
Yeah,
him.
I
you
think
know?
also like is it like like a tricky situation in that case because I've been in that situation where you have a group of friends that you probably got involved with one of them, and then if you like you get out of there or if you break up or whatever, that group is not going to work in the same way. So I think that's most of the time what Ross did was like just like I'm going to try to fake it because I know the dynamic is going to change if I say what I feel, how I feel. And that's very novel as well from him because he never wanted to hurt Rachel, and he always through the series he always put her first, like her
Yeah.
feelings. He support her in everything, and I think it's very sad because he was hoping with all his heart that things work, and at the end I feel really like connected to Ross in some kind of way, not
Yeah.
because my love life is shit or anything like that, but when I was a teenager I was always like wanting like being loved by someone, and I
Yeah.
probably was in that situation many times. Like I was friend with someone that I liked but didn't like me, and we were in a group of friends and I didn't want to make it worse, but I probably did make it worse, just like Ross and
Yeah.
all of his
Exactly.
choices, sadly.
So I said,
Mm.
no, no, no.
Yeah, well
I
obviously
love Ross. I love Ross.
when people is in love, people is stupid,
Yeah.
like,
And
and
they do.
when the love is not both ways, it's even worse. It's like
Oh God.
watching something that you know is gonna end bad, but you still go and watch it and do
Yeah.
it, and it's
You say,
just like I would do everything I could just to like save Ross from all of the pain that he went through. Because yeah, people talk about him like but he went through a lot of pain. First, like he got married. What? How many times the guy got married? 3 times. When
Three
he
times.
got the girl that he actually thought, then he called her freaking Rachel in the wedding, and it's just like, oh my god, this guy.
Yeah, he cannot catch a break, honestly.
Rachel, once she realized he moved on, because let's be honest, he never moved on, but he was trying.
Yeah.
Now she won him. So why is nobody talking about that, or about also, I think this is like a personal view, like I think Rachel also play with Joy's feeling. Like
Yeah.
I hated that. I actually don't know
and
why
that is
they did
something
that.
that people do not talk about, and they say like, no, that Ross was very toxic to Rachel, but Rachel was very toxic to Ross too.
Yeah.
You know, and Rachel wasn't. She sometimes she wouldn't like take her friends' feelings into consideration. I mean,
No.
and people do not talk about it, and it's like, no, Rachel is not perfect. And I remember watching like a um doing a little game online, and it was like, okay, choose, what do you prefer, do you prefer this or that, and it was like, what do you prefer, Rachel and Ross or Chandler and Monica? And I was like, Chandler and Monica
Chandler
all
and
the
Monica.
way, they are so good. And
Yeah.
then and then another person said, I prefer Phoebe and Mike, and I was like, yes.
Yes.
Yes, you know, because they are the least toxic relationship. And for example, Ray, Monica and Chandler were amazing, I think.
Yeah.
And they did
Once they
something
connect.
yes, and I think they did something very crazy. They you know, they went and said, I'm gonna go into a relationship with my best friend, and that can be tricky. That can be very tricky, because you can lose the other person if it doesn't work out. But you know, they risk it, and it worked so so well. That part of the
Perfectly.
show is my favorite. Like when when Chandler and Monica start to get together, it's so much fun. The thing with the secrets and people finding
When
out.
Chandler proposed to Monica, I have to admit, I cried my eyes out. I had to change my eyes and put another set up, because I cried so bad. And it was crazy, because how can you cry with a comedy? It doesn't
No,
make
but you
any
can.
sense.
Of course you can.
Yeah, but people would think like, no, we're watching comedy. Why are you crying? And it's just like,
Yeah,
this
because it
was
moves you.
perfect.
Because it moves you, and it that's good acting. You know, it's
It
good acting. You
that's what
can
I
laugh and you can cry.
yeah.
I remember crying my eyes out at the end of Modern Family. I was
I
crying
haven't.
so much. Oh my! I love Modern Family too. I love a lot. I watch a lot of television in my free time. It's one of the things that I love to do the most. And oh my god, I cried so much, and I cried a lot in Friends. When Phoebe had the triplets, and she was saying goodbye to the triplets, I was like, oh god, no,
Well, I
no.
cry at the
Oh,
end of The Office, like if my life was ended. Like
yeah,
when that series
like
finished,
today,
I
me
was
with
like,
Supernatural. Yeah,
it's
it's
almost
like
like you finish a chapter of your life. You've probably been watching that through sadness. And I think that's a connection that I have more with series than in a movie, because you watch a movie and okay, that's done. You move on.
you move on. Yeah,
But when
very.
you watch in a series, in your life you're also going through things. And for example, like if you go into a really bad moment in your life and you listen to a song, you're gonna remember that feeling,
Yeah.
and you're gonna remember how you felt. And that happened to me with series, even though it's different, obviously. But I know exactly, for example, when my mom was diagnosed with cancer, I know exactly what song I was listening to it, and every time I listen to the song, it's just like, oh, okay. And then for example with series, it happens to me in the other way. It's just like when I was going through that bad moment, The Office and Friends just saved me completely.
Yeah.
And even though I do remember that, it brings me back to that. It brings me back to that in a different way. It makes me feel like safe. It's like, Yeah, these give me
comfort.
gave me
And
peace.
there it's like these people are with you, these characters are with you, and you're laughing with them, you're laughing at them, and it's and they make you feel safe. And
Yeah.
I completely understand, because Friends is my comfort show as well.
Mhm.
And during the pandemic, actually, this is not a TV series, it's a reality show, but it really brought me, like, it saved me, I think, from insanity, was RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh,
Like, it freaking saved me from going crazy
beautiful.
during the pandemic. Like, if you haven't watched RuPaul's Drag Race, you should go ahead and watch
You have to
RuPaul's Drag
watch it.
Race
I have
right
to
now.
say this.
You have
Probably
to.
not a lot of people know this. I don't know how many people knows me that's gonna watch this. Because this is the English one, and probably my friends are gonna most likely watch the Spanish one, the versions of what we're doing. But a few months ago I got diagnosed with a really bad disease. And meanwhile, I was in the hospital. I was like, my friend, you guys, my friends, a group of friends that we have, Mila, Jorge, and Julian. Hello, guys.
Hi.
um, they told me like, you
Hi.
have to what? Hi, you have to watch RuPaul Drag Race, and I was just like, okay, let's do it. I was in hospital for like 21 days, and I remember watching 3 series in those 21 days. I couldn't sleep at night or anything, so I was constantly watching it. And I remember one of the 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 queens, remember what was her name, she had the same, never mind, I'll find someone like you. The point is, I felt safe watching it. It was funny, and it also gives you like a slap through reality when
Yeah.
it comes to self-love, sabotage in yourself. Your like everything is so well done, you know. You learn a
Yes.
lot from it. People will think it's a shallow show, but it's you learn,
No, it's
and you,
not.
yeah.
It's not. You learn so much from these people, and I think one day we're going to talk about it, in an episode. We're going to do something with RuPaul's Drag Race. We have to, because I have learned that these performers, these artists, are so talented,
So talented.
and people tend to overlook drag and say, "Oh, yeah, the entertainment from the gay club," and it's like, no, there's so much more than that. They are so talented. They have to know how to sing, how to dance, how to rap, how to sew, how to do makeup and hair, and they have to be like a
How
complete package for entertainers. And you see the struggles that they go through, their insecurities, and still they go and say, you know what, I'm going to turn into this fabulous person that I want to be, and they go and they do, and they are who they want to be, and it's
and
amazing.
they do it in high heels.
Yes, yes, and they
Hello.
dance in high heels, and they do splits in high heels and death drops, and oh god,
Amazing.
it's such an
The
amazing show.
last season of RuPaul Drag Race is probably my favorite. I haven't watched them all. Um, I just watched because actually they were like jumping me from series to series. They didn't want like start with one, and they were like, no, you can watch this the season 5, then the 9, then the 8, then the 6, and I was just like, but what's going on? The point is,
Because we wanted her to fall in love with the show, so we
yeah,
were like, you have to watch the first two that you have to watch is season 6, and then season 9, and then you, with the rest, you can do
and then
whatever
you're
you
gonna,
want,
yeah.
or you're gonna fall in love with it with season 6 and season 9.
I think my favorite one is the current season. It was full
Season
of
13.
talent. Yeah, it was full of
Yeah.
talent for me. It was I don't know. I can't even express how much I love Rose and Gottmik.
Oh
But
god,
like
Rose.
that's not the point today. We're talking about friends today. But
Yes,
we
we're
promise,
just about
if
friends. We're gonna
yeah,
talk about RuPaul's Drag Race. We
if
are.
you like RuPaul Drag Race, we're happy to talk about it for hours.
We will. Yeah, we can talk for hours. I can talk for hours about season 6 and Bianca Del Rio and
There's
Dora Delano. I
obviously
can.
Bianca deserves like her
Bianca,
own show. Well, she has her own show now.
she has her own show.
I
And
love
Adore
her.
Delano, if you have never heard her music, you have to go and listen to her. You have
Beautiful.
to. But anyway, going back to
Going back.
Friends. I wanted to ask you, who do you feel related the most? You said Ross. Do you feel like or
I
is
mean,
there
I
another character?
actually with friends, it happens a lot to me that
Because I
I
feel like
could
you're
sometimes
Phoebe.
jump.
I feel like
You
I
think
feel like
so?
you're Phoebe. Honestly,
Yeah, I'm very.
you're
Yeah, I'm
crazy.
very I'm very crazy, and I sometimes it doesn't make sense anything that I say. Probably I'm very Phoebe. Personality wise, I'm very Phoebe. Emotionally wise, I think I'll be more like Monica, like with things that like how I. Yeah, I think.
You
Let's
can be
say
a
this:
mix. It doesn't have to
the
be like 100% one
the
character.
Denise from years ago could be Monica. Yeah, actually, I'm all of them. But personality wise, I'm very Phoebe. I am
Yeah.
so Phoebe in life.
Yeah, you're crazy and you're positive and you're full of joy, and I think that Phoebe is very pure too, and I really I see a lot of Phoebe in you. A lot. And I think
I
I don't
you
know, you tell me.
I see you as a mix of Chandler and Monica, probably
Yes,
to me.
I was gonna say the same thing. I see
you s-
myself as a mix between Chandler and Monica because Chandler is so awkward and Chandler is so sarcastic. And
so sarcastic.
he's like, I cannot give you great advice, but I can give you, a sarcastic comment. And it's so much fun. And I love him for it because he covers everything with comedy. And I'm
Yeah.
very much like that. Like if my friends are bad, like okay, I'm gonna go. My Monica side is gonna come out and say,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give you your advice. I'm gonna make you feel better. But then like 2 seconds later, I'm gonna
It's
send
your
you
own problem.
a gift, something that's gonna make you laugh
Yeah.
because I really do believe that laughter is the greatest medicine. It sounds
Mm-hmm.
cliche, but I really do believe that. And also, I'm very Monica because I'm a perfectionist. I studied pastry. I'm a pastry chef. I don't work on that, but I am a pastry chef.
But her
That's what
brownies are amazing.
my
The
brownies.
brownies
Yeah.
are delicious. Buy Mila's brownies. She's not selling them, but buy them anyway.
They're very good. They're very good. I must admit that they are very good, but they're like a family recipe. They're not really mine. It's like I just make them.
I have to clear this out. They're not happy brownies. They're just normal brownies.
No, they're not. They make you happy because they have a lot of chocolate in them, but they're not. They're not happy brownies. They could be happy brownies if I
Just
would
let us
ask.
know. Let us know in the comments. Just make your order now. We give you 50% off.
Yeah,
We need money.
we need money.
We need money.
Oh my god. Oh my
But
god. But
yeah,
yeah,
well,
so much fun. And thank you. I don't know. I think that'll be maybe all for today. I don't know. I think we covered Friends
yeah.
for now. There
The
are
thing
a
is,
lot of
with
yeah,
this we can spend hours talking about
yeah.
this series. Yesterday we spent a lot of time talking about Game of Thrones, but if you guys like this, if you guys enjoyed it like we do, because it's actually very fun to talk about, we would like to know, one, who is your favorite friend character who you feel related to. Two, we want to know what would you like to watch in this section of the show. And three, we love you.
Yes, basically.
Yeah, that's it.
And honestly, yeah, like Denise said, we can talk for hours and hours and hours and hours just about Friends. But you see, like we drifted to Grey's Anatomy and Supernatural and Game of Thrones again and RuPaul's Drag Race and but it's
Everything.
basically a conversation. This was just one scene from Friends. Friends is a very long show with a lot of iconic scenes that we want to talk about maybe in the future. So if there's one in particular that you want to see in an episode or something, tell us in the comments. And if you like this, just share and subscribe. Please, please, please
Please.
subscribe and hit the like button. And,
Yes.
and that's it. Thank you so much for being with us today. Bye.
Bye.